and welcome back to ModSauce 2. I thought today's probably the day to get back into that automation again. We spent last episode going through a tower and taking it down. And this episode, we probably should get back to our applied energetic system. So, let's get started. First thing we'll need is to make a crafting terminal, which requires a crafting table, a calculation processor, and a terminal. I think we can achieve that, especially since we've got a terminal right in front of us. We just need to grab one of those. We will need some wood, which is from here. We can grab some wood. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I can't do it in there yet. So we'll grab a crafting table. We'll grab the terminal, take that out. And we'll then go into here. And to make that, I believe it is that, and that. One crafting terminal, which gives us achievement a much bigger table. Stick that there, and now we have a crafting terminal. That's going to help so much more. Next thing we're going to work on is we're going to need a crafting unit, which requires 2 calculation processors, a logic processor, and some glass cable. Do I have any spare glass cable? I do. Awesome. What else do we need? We need some iron ore. And I don't think I've got any processors. Let's have a look. Processors. Oh yes, look at that. I've got a processor. That's awesome. And we just need a calculation processor. So we'll need some redstone. Let's make a, I don't know, small collection. We've got 50 there, so we can write 10. It will keep us in stock for now. And we will also need silicone. Oh, look at that, we've got just enough silicone. So we'll go down here, stick it in this guy. So we go out. Oh, look at that. 4 of those in, 4 silicone in, and we will put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, why am I doing it that way? Split it up that way. 10 of those. And watch as the magic happens. We can sit here and watch it. We should have enough power to be able to do all this. But one of the first things we'll craft up is the actual craft it with some windmills, just the mechanism ones, wind turbines I think they're called, so that we can correct our power situation. There are some better power methods we can go into in the future, but for now we'll just do it this way. What are we up to now? We're up to, still got 8 left. It's a very slow process. Probably do need to make it so we increase our subscribers. We've got 2 calculation processors, so that's all we need for now. We'll let that craft up the rest. We can do it in here now. So we're going to make a crafting unit. 1 crafting unit. And we will need to make, we'll just go for the 1K for now, which I think requires one of those. Ooh. I don't really want to use our pure. Do we happen to have any more normal Certus? We do. Oh! And there's the power problem showing up. One of those plus one of those gets us one of those. And we'll just wait for it to catch up. It does catch up. We have moments where it goes off and on. We're making it 200 RF per tick. But of course that's not enough to run all the machines plus that. We'll go put this down somewhere. Now I haven't actually crafted out a spot for my CPUs. We'll probably put it over here somewhere next to the Oh, of course, this guy's taking all the power, isn't it? We'll probably put them... No, we'll probably put it right next to the drive for now. So put that there. And of course, that's going to take more power. But that gives us a storage, crafting storage. So that gives us automation there. There we go. I've got 2 left. We'll just wait for those to finish. It's really easy. Okay, so we have the 8. So we'll go back upstairs. Now we should be getting power back into the A system because we're not using it somewhere else. There we go. Devices online. And I was looking for an interface. Now I'm pretty sure I've made an interface in the past because I was thinking it's an old recipe. And we'll also need a molecular Right, so we need to make a crafting table. Well, we can do that, I think. Look at that one, crafting table. Not a problem. I like having my AE back. Do we have any quartz glass on us? Look, we've got everything we need. Awesome. Okay, so we'll go downstairs. And we will stick this guy. Oh, for now, we'll just stick him in the same place. I do have plans for this area, but I can always rearrange later on. So we will put the interface on there. And we'll put that on the like so. Right, so that's one molecular assembler and an interface. Next thing we need to make is some patterns. Now, that again is difficult, I believe. Let's have a look. So we'll look for pattern. Oh, there's lots of patterns. Need to make some of those. Got enough for those? I got a couple of those. And now you can guarantee I'll need some more quartz glass for that pattern terminal, that guy. Oh no, just need a crafting table and an engineering processor. Well, I've got a speed. Oh no, I don't have an engineering processor. That's the one with the diamonds, I believe. So let's go put a diamond. We will need some. I already don't have silicon, do we? Spawn silverfish. Clay. I've got some clay there, so we'll just make some more of that. And some more redstone. And of course what we're aiming for is to be able to remove the need to even go near these things. Now I believe I could put clay in there. Let's stop it executing it though. So that's our silicone. We've got 2 silicone. Can never work out where I'm going to get silicone or not from that. Anyhow, go down here. And we will place the diamond, 1 silicone, and 1 redstone. And while we wait for that, I'll be back in a second. So that's been made. Take that out. Go back up here. And obviously, this is a lot going up and down, but it won't be for long. Ooh. Of course, in order for us to make that, we need to have just the engineering and crafting. What I might do to to make a terminal, oh, I've got to have the crafting, so I've got one of those too. I can make another crafting table. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make two, I'm going to have two, instead of using this one here, which I could do, but it does have slight quirks, because it's a pattern terminal. If you've got one item, you can put a pattern in there. And then you can have 4 or 9 of the same item in there, but you may only have one in the system, which can be a bit confusing and a bit annoying. So I'm going to actually make a separate one of these, which does require some gold. Silicone redstone, yep, got some of that, got some of that. So I'll put a piece of redstone in there, oops, some silicone in there, and a piece of gold. And we'll just wait again. So we're waiting on the printed logic circuit, so got both of those. Okay, one logic processor. So we go back up to here, and that should give us enough. Go into here, make one of those. That's one ME terminal. Crafting table, one of those, and was it a calculation processor? Yes, it was. Makes a crafting terminal, and then we make an engineering processor, gives a pattern terminal. Okay, so now the pattern terminal, as I said, does have a quirk. So to avoid using it, I might actually put it down here somewhere for now. Probably somewhere where we're actually going to use it. Or, well, somewhere we're going to need to make patterns, I suppose. So we're looking for some glass. Glass cable? Oh, it's in my inventory. So I can't find it. So we'll go back down here. And I'm thinking I will put it connected to there for now. I'm not overly concerned about channels at the moment. Okay, so that gives us a pattern terminal. We can now put our patterns into here, and we can start making up some recipes. Now, the first thing I'm going to actually need to make is a windmill or wind turbine. Oh, that one there isn't. Do I have any enriched? Oh, stick that into there, and then we will stick it into here. Which one is it? That one. So there's a pattern which will make. So now we can search for an energy tablet. So we can search tablet, and we can now craft a tablet. What else do we need to make? So we need to make. We've got all those. Yes, we can make all those at least. Oh no, we can't make one of those just yet. Okay. Do we have enough to make a tablet? Start. We do. There we go. One tablet. 1, 2. Which makes a wind turbine. So we can now stick the wind turbine into there. Now, of course, what's going to happen if I search for wind turbine, it's going to complain, but I don't have enough ingredients. That's an old windmill. I was thinking about reusing that. I just don't know how to just yet, so we'll just make, well, I don't know, one for now. Okay, so we need a control circuit, osmium ingots, and enriched alloy. Okay, that's fine. What have I got on me? I've got a control circuit on me. And I don't have enough of it. I thought I had more of those. Did I use some? Must have used some. That's fine. I'll grab some iron from over here. 17. Oh, no. I already had 29 on me. Oh well. So I'll put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 will do. 7 of those. Take those out. Once again, we wait for the power. And I'll stick those back in there. Since we've already got 29 there. 2. 3. So we'll go back down here and can't do anything while we don't have power. Might actually take those guys out. Just temporarily so we can get some of this done. We'll put 3 of those in there, 4 of those in. And we were making a turbine. One wind turbine for now. Oh, there's some oddsman ingots. I have some of those. Turbine. 1 turbine. Start. Keep going on the crafting. Oh, it's done according to that. Oh, look at that. Nice. And so now we've got that, and we can place. Is it 4? Yep. 4 of those back in there to finish that off. Hopefully, we get a positive number now. Okay. Okay, so we've got ourselves a temporary power source, a secondary power source, just to keep us in the positive. We have our automation online, well, our basic automation online, so that we can do that. Another thing I probably should make a pattern for is a pattern. As silly as that sounds, pattern, it's actually one of the, normally the first thing I create is that blank pattern. Just so we can actually, oh, I'm missing something. Quartz, I should probably make quartz glass as well. Oops, don't have any quartz, looks like. Is that right? Okay, so I need to go create some quartz, that's fine. I do have some quartz on me, which is good. So we'll go in and create now, we don't really need to have 10, but it's just giving us a bit of a buffer. Because once we actually have enough, we can then automate all this process and this will all happen by itself. But while we're waiting for that, we'll go down here. And we will make our pattern, which requires glass, which requires more glass. No, actually, we do need to make a pattern first. Make some quartz glass first. That's one of the things that I was saying about how it's weird. I'm assuming it doesn't have any glass. Oh, of course we don't have enough. Plenty of glass, we're just waiting on the quartz, of course. Seven is fine. Should be enough. And I can't remember if it actually takes it from the inventory. No. Right, so that gives us 4 of those. We'll come back to it in a second. Make a pattern. Oh, what am I missing now? Mining it. No. Oh, of course. I need to put that in there first. Alright. One blank pattern to make a blank pattern. Another blank pattern to make the quartz glass. Stick that into the interface, 1 and 2. And now we can actually make patterns. So that pattern Craft up 10. Have we got enough to make 10? Ooh, definitely not. Not yet at least. Okay. Put that in there, right. Next thing we probably want to make is an interface. One of these guys. Oh, I'm missing my core again. Okay. That's quite funny actually, because the reason I was about to do that was to automate this guy. Okay. I'll go over to here. What don't I have for it? I don't have the annihilation. I've got the annihilation core. I don't have the formation core. Okay, so I need some more gold. Gold ingot. Two of those. Got some silicone there. Yep. Okay. One of those, and one of those. Wait a few moments. Here it comes. One logic processor. And I think I've done it up here, so I have to go back up here to finish it. One logic processor makes 2 formation cores. And then we go back down here. Formation gives us an interface. And I'll grab one of those as well. In fact, I should have to grab. No, I can only grab one. Okay. Don't think I've got enough one of those at the moment. No. Okay, that's fine. So this one here is going to be a funny one. We're going to make it an ME interface like that. Probably have to run it along here. Stick that. Actually, no, we won't. Sorry, just realised that I've done something I said I wasn't going to do. Put that there. We're actually making a box one. And I'm going to put it here. Oh, we probably should change the direction now. It won't really matter because there's nowhere else for it to go. But I'm just going to grab my wrench. And I'm just going to hit it a few times so it's always, there's no chance it will go in the wrong way. I think we changed this, okay. So as you can see, the arrow now points towards the chest, which means any items it puts into there will always go into here. We need to make ourselves another pattern. Pattern. Do we have enough for a pattern? We have another for another pattern. Put the pattern there. Now we're going to put, so this is not a crafting recipe, it's a processing recipe. If we place a piece of gold, a redstone, and a silicone into there, and we do the same here, so we've actually got a copy of the thing we need. So grab that, stick it over here, and we say, if you put those into there, you've got a logic processor. A crafting recipe. We can now stick that into there. And now, if we go logic, ooh. Oh, of course, it's not connected. Silly me. we do need to connect it. So let's place a cable there. Oops, not for me. We also want to place a cable there, and I need some more cable. Not a lot, just enough to go forward. I think it's in there maybe. Remnant quicksand. So we just need to go to about there, because that's an energy receptor here. So I need, what, 2 more flux cable? No, I can make it from here. Flux. Glass cable. Flux. Wait, dust. Make us, probably should put, actually let's keep one of those because we'll need it in a second. And we will need another pattern. One pattern. Now what I'll do later on is I'll actually craft up a whole bunch and have them ready to go, but not quite ready on the resources just yet. Oh. I didn't put the interface in there. Yeah. So got that. Probably should tell it how to make. So we'll make another couple of patterns. Make one pattern. So to make a flux crystal, that was charged service quartz, 1 nether quartz. So once again, we need to put that like that. We're making a flux crystal. So we need to make. Do I not have you charged? Otherwise, I'm charged on me charged. So I need 1 charged quartz, 1 redstone, and 1 quartz. I believe it makes 3 of them, doesn't it? 2. Okay, that's what I was confused for. So it makes 2 of those. So right click on that to say 2. That's our pattern. And we can stick that into this guy here. Glass cable is actually a interface recipe. And did we actually make our cable? No. Discussed it, made a pattern for it, didn't make it. So we'll make one of those, because it's going to make automatically enough to do it anyway. So 4. Go over here, and we go 1, 2. That should give him power. And we can tell it if we now look for processor. Processor. There you go, 1 logic processor. So we will request a logic processor will now require silicon. Okay, well that's fine, we're getting there. And we can do the same thing with all of the items in here. We can, all of the various things it can make, can go into there. I also would like to make how many can we make? Can we make 3 charged quartz? Oh, I can fix the charged quartz problem. That's not a problem at all. In fact, I could probably, let's make that our first recipe, eh? Ding ding ding. So 1 of those equals one of those. Make it into a pattern. That way, if it needs more, it just puts them in there and it knows how to make them. So now, if we need to make a pattern, I now need to make 3 patterns, because I just used one. Start. We've got 1 pattern. And that can focus on our... No. Okay, that can... I have to focus on the capacitor first. So we need to turn into that. One of those. We're still waiting on the charged. Oh, no, I have it done. Need to change our recipes here. Go into our inscriber. Our output chest needs to be the ME interface. So I need to grab those and just manually stick it into there so that it fixes the nose it's gotten. Pattern. So we have 2 patterns. That into the interface. We can now request multiple stag wheels. Put them here, so let's put 1 there. Now, if I make an interface, oh, that's new. I don't know how I got that. Into make 1 interface, start, made. Now this is going to take the whole system offline. Because I'm going to take that off there, but then I'm going to put interface down. Which then means we have 8 items on the network. So everything goes offline. We're just going to work out what we don't currently need. currently using this, so we could probably remove it. And that gives us back our A8. Okay. Which probably doesn't mean let's focus on a controller. So we can have more than 8 channels. Vortex controller. I don't currently have any pure Fluix crystals, so I'll do that off camera. And for now, we'll just run on 8 channels. The rest of this I can do though. So we now have that in there. We have a sag mill. Next thing I want to do is the old what cables have we got here? We've got inventory cable. And we're going to put one inventory cable back down there. Yes, no. Oh, yes. And we'll put one there. Yes. Okay, so I've left a little while, and we now should have the ability to make a controller, which is... I've lost the controller. Where are they? There it is. So I should have enough to make that now. And we're missing something in the middle. It's engineering processor, which I thought I had. Oh, okay. In that case, cool. Okay, so we look for processor. One calculation processor. Calculation? No, it was engineering, wasn't it? Gives us one controller. No? What are you missing? Oh. Perhaps I put the skystone in there. One controller. One achievement. So this will let us put more in. Now what I'm going to probably do is I might put it in probably put it in there. Just because if I put it there, then everything else, I've already got paths coming off in all directions. One controller. Cobblestone to hide it. And yeah, I'll probably rearrange this later on, but it'll give us the ideas. And I'll go put this back up here. Awesome. Okay, so next thing we need to put in is I was working on this stuff, and I've got an interface down there. So I'm going to need to make a factory manager. I don't think I've got a spare one. No, okay, let me make a factory manager. Okay, so one inventory manager again. And you'll find I like using these quite a bit for the automation because it means I can use one channel rather than having each one of these devices connect up to an interface. I can use one channel to do all of them. Put that there, and that is now connected to the interface. It's connected to the sag mill, and I'll also put a smelter in here. But we can go into here. We'll create a command group for the sag mill. We're going to need to create a trigger. I want to create a, where is it? Container variable. Another container variable. And we'll make this one orange. And this one here we will make sag mills. And we'll make it contain a sag mill. And this one here we will make current sag mill. We then need to create a for each. Actually, we could probably create an input like that, which comes from the chest in the up position. Target the blacklist. I then want to create a for each. So we create a for each. Coming off the sag mills, using the current sag mill. Brilliant. Loop order, doesn't really matter. And we then create an output. Sorry about that. An output which goes to the variable current sag mill target up items whitelist, and we will say we want to, for now we don't need to have anything in there. I'm going to put a blacklist on there because we've only got the sag mills. When I put the smelteries in it, it gets more complex. But we can place that to there, join that to there, and join that to there with a right click to align that to there. And actually, we do need something in here now. I think let's just put stone or something random in here. We only ever want to put probably 3 items in there at once. And we'll just go match all, which means it will match everything that's put into the chest. And now, if we put, let's say, a flux crystal in there, take it out, puts it in here. I forgot to connect up the power. Okay, cool. Not a problem. We can connect up the power there. And let's add some MV wire cable. Okay, let me connect to some power and I'll be back in a sec. Okay, so I pretty much had to rewire the whole base, or at least downstairs, and to the back here, because for some reason the immersive engineering, when I ran it from over the end there where the power's coming down, to along to the controller and then down underneath the ground here, it decided it was just going to completely lose power at the controller. So I had to run some different cabling along there. I left the immersive engineering along here though. As you saw before, I put the fluix in there. Should now have processed it. Yes, we have fluix dust. So the next thing we need to do is configure this guy up to take it out of there, which is pretty simple. It's pretty much creating a trigger, create an input, select that it is for all the sag mills, not the current one, all of them, because it doesn't really matter if it's targeted properly, it'll work properly. So we set it down, and then we'll whitelist everything. Yes, we create an output, and the output will set it to, no, not the chest, to the ME interface. Doesn't matter the direction, and we will blacklist all items for now. Apparently I did something wrong there. What did I do wrong? Whitelist is empty. Yes. Okay, so that then should take it out of there. Yes, look at that. It would have put it back into the system, so we'll now have some dust in here. Dust. Yep. And then of course to next thing we'll do is we'll set this to, oh, we need another pattern, but I'll grab a pattern from here. Probably requires some flux dust. No. Oh, we're running low on quartz crystal. Oh, that's not good. Okay, I'll have to go get some more quartz crystal. It's going to be one of those days today. So I'll go get some more quartz crystal and I'll come back in a moment. Okay, so I got some more crystal. We'll stick that in there. We're making a pattern, won't we? Pattern? Patty? I need a patty, we need a pattern. That's the one pattern we'll do now. Right, so that gives us one pattern, and we want to make some flux dust, which is basically putting that in there with some flux. That one. Makes a pattern, put that into here. If we now go over into our interface, and we stick that into there. Okay, so let's make a couple more sag mills. Let's make one for now. Go into here, stick this guy probably there for now. Okay, so it's been a little while now, but I've put in all the sag mills and all of the alloy smelters. We've now got a nice collection there. I've also put in some advanced cable clusters with some transforming cable camouflage. So as you can see at the moment, with these are inventory cables. They're just a more advanced version of the inventory cable. The cable cluster lets you combine multiple different types of inventory cables into one block. The advanced one also adds in the ability to connect to an existing inventory. They are a very expensive thing to craft, especially if you start adding transforming cable camouflages, because you need ender pearls. So I've tried to do as minimal as possible so we don't waste our limited supply of ender pearls. But I put most of these in, and what this will allow us to do is, as you can see, it actually looks really quite bulky at the front. And we could put them across the top here, or we could put them at the bottom, but if we wanted to put another layer in, it would then mean we can't use this piece here, because the base is actually just sitting on top here. But what we could do with these things here is they have a really cool feature, which I've just about already set up. So if we go and stick an interval on there, which we only need to set initially, you can see in the background over here that some of them have disappeared already. But if we actually go hidden blocks, so this is just another container variable like we normally have, and we search for, what are they called? Transforming. So they're called transforming. Transform, and select all. You can now see that they all disappear, and we can walk through them, which is really helpful in terms of hiding them away. I've also got a similar thing here where it says stone. There's actually a cable here, and a cable here, and a cable here. And if we switch this over to the other side, you'll see it appear up. So this is just the camouflage condition, which basically tells it to hide or not hide. But as you can see down here, this one here is actually a advanced cable cluster as well. And the same with under here, I believe. Oh no, you can't see that one because it's actually hiding behind here. Take that out. So you can see here it's an advanced cable cluster, and which just looks like a normal stone block. which makes it interesting to try and work with. And I've managed to fall down into my service area. Not very helpful. I ended up putting in 2 chests because it just made it easy to work with. So you can see here I've got 2 interfaces. This is all the stuff that can be smelted. So we've got our stone currently and quite clear glass. We can add extra things in as we need them. And we've also got anything that needs to be sag milled. So I've added in the flux dust and the circuit quartz dust. And these both point upwards to the chest, so they don't accidentally put things next to them. But the reason I've done 2 chests is you'll see in a moment when I show the actual factory manager recipe, it's a lot easier to understand if you don't have to define the patterns here as well as the patterns in the inventory manager. We'll just go up here and I'll continue showing you what the pieces. Go all the way back around here. So yeah, you can see here, of course, that we've got the things. And if we go into here and we just re-enable that block, we only need to do it for a moment because it's a permanent thing. And as you can see, they've all just disappeared. So now, of course, it looks like it's just a standard piece of stone, and you can't see anything, which is quite aesthetically pleasing in my opinion. We'll just put the piece of stone back in there so it's hidden. Yeah. So in terms of what we've got, so as I said, we've got the camouflage. You saw the sag mill recipe before. The only thing that of course has changed is I've now listed off all the sag mills. So if we go in here, we search for sag mill, you'll see that all of these should be selected. Oh, actually they're not. Let's select them. Select, 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 select. So now they're all selected. I think they deselect if you remove the inventory cable. And of course I put the inventory cable down, selected them, and then I went and changed them to the camouflaging one. So of course it was all deselected. I changed the name of this one here. This was originally the current sag mill. And I thought, well, I can use in both cases, so I changed it to current machine. The smeltery is exactly the same setup, except for being for sag mills, it's for the smelteries. And we'll just go in here and make sure all those are selected as well, which is this one here. So we'll click connect for alloy smelter, and they're all selected, so that's cool. But yeah, so it's the same thing for each of the items, output to the smeltery, and then just pull everything in. So not too much different from what I've already done. And it looks a lot nicer. Now, of course, if we select, let's make ourselves a whole bunch of some glass. So we have no glass currently. If I say I want to craft up, I don't know, let's go 30. Go start. We go like over here. You can see that it will slowly put all the items in here. And it puts a maximum of 3 into each alloy smelter at a time. I'll probably, outside the episode, I'll probably put some capacitors in here so that it goes much faster. But it works reasonably well like this, and you get a reasonably quick response. Sag mills, the same thing applies. We'll just click on one of these. So I haven't got any capacitors in there yet, but if we were to say, what have we actually? I don't think we've got much in here. As I said, I've got 2 chests, so I could put something. We could put our cobblestone in here. Let's put all that in there, and you'll see it'll just progress it all through, and it cooks up 3 at any one time. If it's got more than 3 in the thing, it won't insert them. We don't have an example here at the moment. Yeah, so that's the automation of the sag mills and the alloy smelters. And I can extend the recipes further by just clicking on the interfaces, which are currently hiding behind here. I can go underground and do it or as you can see, here's the interfaces. So just add your patterns into here. If we need to, we can always add another interface here and here. Although if I wasn't going to do that, I'd probably rearrange it so the chests aren't visible. And then you can have all 8 sides taken up. Well, actually, it would have to be 7 sides because you need one connected up to a cabling. Yeah, I think that's pretty much the automation part of it. I know it's another episode with Steve's Factory Manager. I've tried to keep this one a little bit shorter because it's not a lot to it. But quite a cool little mod, and I do use it quite a bit. So I think I'll call the episode here. I've covered a few things in this episode. Possibly not one of the more interesting episodes, but hopefully you've learned something. If you have learned something, or you just enjoyed watching it, leave a like. It'll give me guidance on where to go next. If you want to be notified of new future videos, hit that subscribe button. And of course, if you have any questions about anything I've done today, or even things you want to know and me have a play with, leave a comment. But otherwise, have a great day and see ya!